Hi everyone, welcome back to week 4 of Christmas in July Hop hosted by Ruth Inkwell and Left-Handed Crafter. This week's prompt was Santa. I really enjoyed making the project that I'm going to show you. But first I just want to share with you my fails, okay? So I have this beautiful stamp set that I got from a thrift store, a local thrift store here, who used to have a decent scrapbooking section, but now they don't. And it's called Recycle Rubber Art Stamps, and it's Christmas classic stamps. And you see these are very pretty. And so since our prompt was Santa, I wanted to use this guy who looks like this right here. And I got this for $1. It was sold at Tuesday morning in 2013 when I knew nothing about Tuesday morning, really. So I was excited to get this. So I was going to make one of those fold-out cards. You know, like you not fold it out, but you open it up, and it was going to be something else. And so what I did was I cut a hole using this thing right here. Circle punch, Martha Stewart circle punch, and I wanted it to get a little bit further over, so really I should have probably used a die cut, a circle die, and ran it through my machine. And because it fits, the circle fits perfect, but I'm not happy with the image itself once it comes out, and maybe because I use white paper to do this, I don't know. I would definitely try to work on that later on, because even though the Christmas in July hop is almost over, I still want to make a few cards because I do want to give out some handmade cards. So this is a failed project in my opinion. I could probably fix it by you know, coloring the edges or whatever. And even right here, this is not a big deal when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, but it's just not something I really like. And I may need a different color ink. I'm not sure, because you can see the stocking in some detail, but Santa just looks like someone just took a pen and just kind of flicked a few lines and created this guy. So this was my first attempt, and I was going to make, you know, 5 of those cards, so I didn't. And then let's move this out the way. There we go. I'm in the Facebook group about rubber stamping because, you know, I'm addicted to stamps. I don't need rehab yet. I saw this stamp. I saw this lady post this card on her on the Facebook group, and it was beautiful, like super gorgeous. And I thought that this stamp was a bit bigger. I really thought that it was like probably this size, because the way she had the paper, he just looked bigger. And I did some research, and thanks to Ruth's Inkwell, she was able to tell me that it was at Hobby Lobby, and I ran to Hobby Lobby a couple of weeks ago and I got it because I knew that Santa was going to be a prompt. And I pulled out all of my Santa stamps because I was going to do a lot of stamping, but I'm not going to do that. I focused on one thing. I did some embossing and everything, so I focused on one thing. So I then stamped him out, and what I want to share with you is that I use index paper. It's pretty decent because what I was embossing on index paper, and I was going to put this down. But what I was trying to do, I could not create because I really didn't know how to execute it that well. So I'm going to definitely keep trying it and then do it. But these look like little tags, so you'll probably see this in August for my Christmas curating all year round with Crafty Rats, because I love this image. I love this image. I love how Santa looks. I love everything about it. You know, if you wanted to, you can get fancy and put his hat on if you really wanted to, but you don't have to. So some of these I stamped out, and I was more heavy-handed than others. So you can see how this ink, and I think that my ink is starting to run out because I keep leaving it fold upright instead of folding it down. I guess that may be it. So anyway, I did this, and then, you know, I love trying different things. So I took my fingernail polish and I ran it over because I wanted to have some sparkle to it. but I said, forget it. So I stamped out those images. Again, I want to just share with you my little bag from the Me and My Big Ideas, the Christmas one. So I want to try to use that. I haven't used this as much as I thought I would be doing, but I did use it, and this is what I created. I want these to be, like, I'm actually going to use these because these are going to be gift card gift cards, and I'm going to use my envelope maker to make some envelopes to go with it. And so I didn't want it to be too heavy. I am going to write a note in there. I'm not going to stamp a sentiment, but I'm just going to write a note in there. And what I decided to do, and they're all the same, yet all totally different because I cut them differently. I took a regular 5.5 by 4.5 or 7.5 or whatever the number the regular A2 card is. And so what I did was I took this piece of paper and I cut it in half, and then I put Santa on top of it, well, around the edges, and then I inked it with this brush corduroy, which seems to be my go-to edger besides my bingo ink daubers. And then I just kind of put Santa down, and I wanted the papers to coordinate, not so much match. So I didn't want it to be red on red. I just thought that would look a bit not so good. So you can see how that is. So what I did was I just took the green card, put the red paper on, and then I put Santa on. And I was going to do like glossy accent him, but I'm thinking when you give people money, they don't really care about the card that you put it in. You can just roll it up in a tissue paper and give them the money. But I'm going to be giving this to my family. So I'm going to be giving them $25 for Christmas. Because, you know, I'll be moving, so I'm going to really need to save my money. So I only made 4 because I'm going to give one to my aunt, one to my 2 uncles, and then I'm going to give this to my stepdaughter. My big roommate had a child before we were in a relationship, and she's almost grown. So I'm going to give that to her for Christmas. So I hope that you all like this. It's very simple and easy to do. You just, you know, stamp out your image, cut your paper, and glue it down or paste it down or use adhesive tape, which is what I did, double-sided. And I put these little jewels on there because it was plain and simple, and I don't want it to be over the top because, again, it's just a card that they're going to probably discard once they get the money. And for me, when I create projects, I don't want you to throw away my stuff. So I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to put effort in and make it pretty, but I didn't want it to make it where they would just discard it. And then I didn't want to put a red jewel on there. I thought this white one would look prettier, so that's why I did that. And I'm going to write in here with a silver or a gold little marker that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. They have them on sale right now. Well, not on sale, but they have them 2 for $1, of course, because everything at the Dollar Tree is $1. And that is all. So I hope that you are enjoying this Christmas in July hop. I know that I am. I love seeing what the other ladies create, and I have been trying to incorporate some of their creations in my craft projects. But this week I did not. I just did something that I like, even though Dawn and Paige and Mom to Create are super card creators. I look forward to their projects every week, and just their projects in general, because I'm like, oh, that is awesome. I want to try that. So I'm super happy that all the ladies that are in the hop are in the hop. I really, really appreciate your time and effort. I appreciate all the people leaving comments, you know, going hopping around with the hoppers and seeing what they've created. It really means a lot to myself, as well as Ruth and the other ladies. Thank you all for supporting us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back every time I post a video. Happy crafting.